Blessings, everybody. Mary Bridget O'Donoghue here. Just wanting to offer some words today. Some simple words, coded presence of a peach rose, counterclockwise spin, the correction, the spin that corrects, that brings right relation, universal right relation, counterclockwise spin. Offering a rose, a counterclockwise spiral for every solar center, every nervous system, to restore this beautiful electrical order to the light body, to the solar light body, to return the spiral of the eternal now, to return the knowing, hey Preeti, to return the embodied knowing of the spiral of now, the spiral of the continuum, the spiral of evolution, the mother's magnetic of the sun. I want to speak about the living electrical field of miracle. This is the center, right? This is the center of that field within each solar center. Recalling now all energetics back from entrapment. Calling all electrics back from the moon. Let me take apart the moon today. Calling for the ending of entrapment by this return to the rose. Return to the mother's magnetic, the mother of the sun. I am truly witnessing the electrical field coming to freedom, and electricity is free. Energy is free, infinite. When it is not entrapped, energy is infinite. Witnessing the electrical mind, the field of synapse, connectivity, living and dancing for the magnetic of the moment. In that, having to recognize the power of the center point to actually encode the sun, to encode the energy of creation, or to entrap the energy of creation, or to invite the energy of creation into evolution, into its freedom, into its continuum freedom of evolution. So, wanting to speak today about the Immaculate Elohim DNA, the crystal white DNA. I have a crystal, white quartz. The Immaculate White Elohim DNA signal within each one of us. Okay. Witnessing codes, secondary codes of meaning, secondary maps of meaning, minds of strategy born from centers of entrapment, codes of entrapment. Witnessing these maps dissolving, being forgotten, hopefully. Witnessing codes collapse, symbology collapse. We are returning the prime code, the prime meaning, the prime intention to everything. Our own stamp. The way is already encoded in our DNA. All of these things I probably have said before, but I'm wanting to place my voice into the field because a few things came towards me to be looked at. The living way is already encoded in our DNA. The mother of our DNA The mother of our DNA is the white diamond, the core tone, the beginning tone of Andromeda, of the white diamond of Andromeda. That is the mother of our DNA. That is the beginning tone of all that we are. I have my white diamond. The beginning tone of all that we are. The song of the quartz, the song of the crystal, the song of the crystal in the bone, the song of the crystal in the stone. Loving all the love hearts. Hey Josephine, yeah. The source sound of our beginning and of our evolution, of our DNA, of our evolving DNA. Speaking the truth into this field now, that our DNA evolves to deal with whatever. There is never a panic. There are just moves and counter moves. Thank you, Josephine. There is never a panic. There are just a move and a remembrance of who we are, and a counter move. The counter move that ends all moves. That's where we are. We are serving the counter move that ends all moves. All else, all other. We are ending the concept of other, so there can be no, there can just be the one move. Speed of space and ease and joy. So many frequencies being spoken through the human voice right now. Star Wars is ending. Universal Wars is ending. The only place to do it is the heart of Earth. Please know when we hear these warring voices, these voices of domination, these voices offering salvation, these voices offering the concept of eternal war, of asking us to contend with whatever is seemingly formed. Voices presenting themselves as a higher consciousness. Know that any frequency running itself through the voice of humanity has brought its home place, has ended the heart of its home place, and so must use the human heart to be reborn. Know this, but also know that the nature of a parasitical frequency, it doesn't know what it's doing. So it is our position as the Elohim to notice this, to keep hold of this immaculate presence, this immaculate core heart, the source mother which has sung our DNA and continues to sing our DNA in relation to what is needed. Know that these frequencies that come to us to convince us of their way, of war or panic or whatever, being less than we are, they have come to be witnessed and to also be returned always through the vortex of the Mother's Heart of Earth, the Mother's Heart within each one of us. The Mother's Heart, the vortexing pure heart within each one of us, is the center of order. Don't worry about the constellation as it looks. We decide the constellation. There's a center of order, and it is here. What is being done through the heart of Earth, the vortex heart of Earth? What is being done through this is a universal rebirth, a rebirth of all frequencies of the universe. Yeah. Everything that comes in, kicking and fighting, presenting itself, speaking through people, telling you their way. Know that there are contracts within the blood that enforce us as humans to continue to speak the word of the fallen frequency. until it is reconciled. It is never to be convinced out of our truth, out of our crystal truth. It is to hear the story out until it wears itself down, and then offer it return home. Hey Farida. Offer it a return home, and there's only one way, through the vortexing heart of Mother Earth. That is the way home. The universe is born through the center of the earth. This is why there is such a condensation, or condensing is the word, a condensing of frequencies coming together. But I am noticing the harmony and the peace and the effervescence, and I am noticing the light of within people emanating to the point that the forms don't even seem to be holding the same way, which is beautiful. And when we get to the point where our speech softens our form, we know we are close to ending entrapment, or we are ending entrapment with that speech. When we get to the place where our words, our presence, our embodied presence, embodied word, our known word, starts to dissolve and melt the story, starts to dissolve and melt the difference between one another, we know we're ending entrapment, right? Because what is coming is the knowing, the memory of perception, that we are only as free as our perception allows us to be. With this crystal clear white diamond, Elohim Mother, returning to us, or should I say, being returned to communication with us, so that we can hear this Source Mother. And I don't need to speak about all the work we have done to ensure this, because we know. We're tired, but we never give up, right? As we are hearing the source call of our own DNA, as we are witnessing the source signal, the source signal of ourselves into the field, and what that looks like and what comes in response, we are just releasing whatever we used to hold ourselves up to fall down. Anywhere where we are convinced that we are less than what we are, less than the royalty that we actually are. The human is the royal human family. So we are the ones with the heart, the dignified, noble heart that can offer a return to all. All structure comes from within. Hey Anna. The new earth will not be built to accommodate anyone's irregular nervous system. So let's not call from an irregular nervous system, right? Let's get that in check. Offering this, the rose for that, to know that there is a mother of the sun, to know that the electrics of the body, the nervous energy of the body, can come back into order, can come back into right relation. And this is connected to the actual magnetic pulse of the sun. You can do that, you can bring your body to that. We know this. But hey Maeve, know that the dysregulated nervous system will be no foundation, will not be the foundation of anything. The only way to have a regulated nervous system, to have a regulated center of energetic power on this earth, is to allow everything to take its correct place. Hey Anna. Allow everything to take its correct place, right? So we have used many methods, many maps of meaning to suspend ourselves as we have been changing paradigms, as the old has been falling and the new is rising. Blessings, Josephine. Thank you for all the love hearts. I love love hearts. We have used many maps of meaning to suspend ourselves in this transition period. But I speak now to those who are, of the creational mind, to those who have come to create and who have big dreams, big imaginations of that creation and ways they wish it to be. That the way is encoded within our DNA. Our DNA is an evolving intelligence. It is our mother code, and it evolves. It actually it encodes the sun. Oops. It tells the sun what is needed. It instructs the sun as to what is needed in order for us to be here within survival or within evolution. So it is so important that we listen to the core of ourself now. That we listen to the core of ourself, the truth of ourself, the source signal of ourself, so that we can encode the sun with the seeds of our immaculate being. Because it is that simple. The sun is in service to humanity, because humanity is in service to the universe. The heart of Earth is the heart of the universe. So we choose what to ask for. Are we going to perpetuate the signal of survival? Or are we going to emanate the signal of our core knowing, the difference of what we will seed is largely down to what we believe our mother to be. If we believe our mother to be the moon, the mother of the moon is the black heart of Saturn, the core tone that uses the moon's magnetics to be, is the black heart of Saturn. When we speak that the moon is our mother, we are seeding the seeds of the black sun, of the black heart, into our operating frequency. When we speak that the moon is our mother, we are speaking the words that our mother is a shadow, she is lifeless, she is hollow, and we are seeding the sun to show us the truth of that, to bring that to be the truth. We must reclaim our feminine side, or ourselves as women, to be the mother of the sun. To know that one way or the other, whether we use the moon and the unconscious shadow to seed the operating frequency of creation, or whether we choose to attune, and the easiest way to attune to the white Elohim, the white diamond core mother sound of Andromeda, is to attune to our own DNA, to use our own DNA as the map of meaning, as the primary map of meaning, as the way, as the encoded way. So those are our choices. But the contract holding, let me speak what I can speak about it. We witnessed the Black Widow spider weavers, right? We witnessed that frequency brought itself to be shown. Black Widow spider weavers, the perpetual call for war and sacrifice, calling from a place of damnation and victimhood. We witnessed that calling for the sacrifice of the sun as a frequency of entrapment, and that was disallowed. So that is no longer being carried by the sun. That is no longer a contract upon the sun. So that is a great thing. So people who use that that attunement to the moon, that can cause personal harm to self. But that is the limit of it, personal harm to self. But do know that there is it is people who use who mislead others and misdirect others in order to hold a secondary mind of meaning, a map of meaning over others. That is seen as a hostile act towards humanity. That isn't seen as an accidental mishap. If the motivation is power over others, to hold a map of meaning generated from a place, from a desire of power over others, that is viewed as a hostile act upon humanity. So, just to say that to the field. So, all other systems of time-space management are irrelevant. Pattern recognition, prediction, astrology, things like that. Just to know these tools that we use within the living field of miracle, the living field of free electrics, which is what we want, because this is why we are taking the contracts away from the sun. We are taking the contracts of entrapment, spellular entrapment, the spellular cocoon, pulling energetics so that we can run whatever story of the time, of the moment. We are in the living field of the eternal now. The center of that constellation, like I said, is that golden magnetic of the sun, the mother of the sun, the continuum point of evolution. Time-space management modalities can be released because they often, always, often offer a kind of a pinch on what could actually be perceived. It is all about perception. The ability to perceive is the ability to be free. The expanse of which we can perceive determines how free we actually can be. So these are just things that will slowly release as people choose to follow the inherent DNA code through intuition, through the center point nervous system of absolute peace, self-acceptance, starting from that base point, deciding that it is our body's truth, our body's living word, which will allow the map of meaning to spring forth. And all of those ways of perception, including astrology, will shift if they are used through the eyes of freedom. They will shift to perceive more. So all ways of modalities of perception that we have, just want to speak to us to allow them to evolve, allow them to completely change how they are known to be. Because we should never be bound by pattern recognition, ever. We should never be bound by management techniques, juggling, moving what is from A to B. We should never be bound by the tools that we have created in a time to make sense of things. We must know that it is our intention that is changing what actually is, and our perception which is perceiving the change that we are creating. So we are in a time when evolution has been turned back on. We are in a time when evolution has been turned back on. This is a timelessness This is a paradigm of quantum change, of the end of entrapment. With completely different parameters to the field. So, trust the embodied perception. Trust the embodied perception. Whole tone equals whole perception. Reclaiming wholeness. Reclaiming the truth of love to bring the body to wholeness. Hold the core, whole tone, the white crystal of Andromeda, the core tone, the mother tone, allows perception to become whole, and we will be seeing one another as one in the most beautiful way. So that will be happening. There will be cohesion, but there will not be homogeny. There's no need for it. There will be no systems of togetherness based off of fear or mistrust. There will be cohesion where we will very simply feel one another, and where we will simply trust one another. And systems will be based off of the freedom to be what you are, to be who one is. So there is no kind of prescriptive, dogmatic word for that. Hey, Alison. There is no need for it. And I'm just speaking that as we are evolving, sooner than later, if we can release the words of how to manage, how to control, how to make my nervous system feel okay, how to make your nervous system feel okay, how to make my story fit in to the evolving truth, how to make your story fit into the evolving truth. Maybe none of it will fit in. Maybe none of it will fit in. And to be good with that. The most important thing I wanted to speak of was the moon. That ends now. The concept that the moon has anything to do with the mother is an absolute insult. Absolute insult. And I completely reject that notion. The mother is a living core tone. The moon is a hollow that has been placed there as a piece of a secondary mind, as a means of control over the earth, to weaponize, to allow the intentionality of the black heart of Saturn to be the governing tone, to sicken us, to make our DNA scrambled, to make our truth invisible to ourselves. I absolutely, wholeheartedly reject that. And I invite in the truth that it is the white diamond core tone of Andromeda, held to us by the beautiful magnetic truth of the density of our Mother Earth. That is our mother. That is our living mother. The living source tone that encodes the sun, that decides the intention of creation and creates the living code which encodes the sun and instructs the sun. The fire code of the sun is a reflection of the water code of the living mother. The water code, or the ice code, people might say the crystal code, is the first point, and the fire code ignites in relation to that. If we are working with the lie of the moon as our mother, we do not have water code. We do not have living crystal ice code. We have death. We have nothing. So I feel so incredibly strong about that. And I witness how it is used against people, and it disgusts me. I would invite that people who truly believe, that the mother is a hollow absence of life, just to speak to themselves in the mirror and leave other people alone. Please, please stop infecting other people, if that could be possible. I'm sorry I'm speaking that because I know the people watching me are not doing that. But anyway, all structure is internal. Offering the pentagon of the womb, offering just turn that pentagram that was impaled through that moon situation, offering to just turn that counterclockwise, open up that pentagram, that impalement upon the womb into the pentagon, just to know that this is structure of the womb in sacred geometry. I just want to offer that internal holding, that internal structure for the self, knowing that women through the womb are birthing the water code, birthing the crystal ice water code of the Eternal Mother into earth. It is being matched in the free electrical field by the fire code of the sun, and it is creating evolutionary change. And it begins with knowing who your mother is. Know who your mother is. And in that, you know, each one of us is of the mother. We are the mother within. So choose our mother. We choose our mother. And who we are in this creational field is wholly dependent on who we know our mother to be. Wholly dependent. So we can transcend everything. We can transcend all limitation. We can open up the living field of evolution, miracle, absolute grace, like unbelievable change, and integrity, and the protection that comes with integrity. We can do that just by the simple knowing who our mother actually is, what our mother is within our body. The mother is our intrinsic DNA song code, and it is changing and evolving to bring us through everything that is being presented to us. Everything. It is a changeable, living piece of creation. So, the living code of the mother invites the infinite energy of the father. This living crystal water ice code of the living mother is ending the entrapment of the father, of the infinite energy, the infinite electrical supply. This is truly bringing the electrical field to absolute freedom. And I just speak that the codes, any story, any map of meaning that involves the moon is an attempted entrapment upon the masculine, upon the electrical energy of creation. And it is done through fear, perhaps, or it is done for a desire for power over others. But either way, it is to stop. Mother is our intrinsic song, water, ice crystalline code. Yes, Alison, exactly that. So, we are timeless beings. We are timeless. The mother is timeless. The mother is timeless. The mother doesn't change with the age. Well, she has, but she's going to correct it all now. When the mother is remembered to be a timeless being, of a timeless presence of source coding, the whole field of creation becomes free. And every aspect of it takes its place. When we take our guidance from nature, from our body's truth, from the truth of nature, if we really look at the beliefs that we have and whittle them down to where can I find that belief in nature? Where can I find that in nature? Whittle it down and to the most basic, to the most pure, like the way a child would see it. And if we cannot find our belief in nature, then it is not true. And the living mother principle is bringing us back to the codes that cannot be broken, the prime codes of creation. The codes like the rose. The reason I came with the code of the rose is because it isn't just a symbol, it is a living principle, that it has a beautiful scent. It has beautiful color. Its truth cannot be denied. It is an undeniable symbol of beauty and truth, of heaven. It is an undeniable symbol of the frequency of heaven. And it is codes and symbols that we can perceive with all of our perception, with our body's sensorial toolkit, that these are the codes that we need to hold on to, because they allow us to, everything has to pass through the senses of the body. The instinct and the senses of the body are the threshold to know if something is real or not. To know that what is in the heavens is just an extrapolation of what is within each one of us. The heavens, whatever they may be, if they are war fields or if they are sound fields of absolute grace and beauty and harmony, they are emanations from our core, from our heart. Our core, our heart, our place of emanation has been so harnessed and terrorized that we would project these holographic fields and empty symbols held together by words with bad intention, with hidden intention, by symbols with hidden intention, by, born from a subconscious that had nothing to do with the Prime Mother. And that is the way of those who align with the moon, whether they know it or not. That is what they are doing. So I need to speak that, to collapse that, because I'm not tidying up after it anymore. It's done. So that is it. We are ending the wasp nest, commanders. That frequency is gone. It's being cast out, actually. Not the people of the frequency. The people may choose, but the frequency, what I mean by that, it is no longer attached into the sun. It is no longer connected into the sun. So it cannot, that ideology of the mother as the moon can no longer garner any electrical support from the field whatsoever, besides whatever is done, by the one person and anyone who agrees. But we are ending, these secondary minds of meaning, these secondary fields of creation. They're not creation at all. They are just recycling and stealing and parasiting. We are, and we can do this when we understand that we are the mother of the sun. We have, as a woman, we are the mother of the sun. If a man feels he has a feminine side, then that feminine is the mother of the sun. So claim that and know the responsibility that comes with that. And know that anything that happens, anything under the sun that happens on our watch is on our watch. And if we see it, then it is up to us. We have the authority, if we can see it, to place our intention upon it. And let us decide that the sun is free, that the electrical field is free, and that it is just the prime coding of the Eternal Mother that seeds the sun, that sets the frequency of creation now. Just the prime immaculate code of the Eternal Mother that can actually, in this sensitive perception of the world as it is, can actually create new code to take care of whatever is presenting itself in the field. Because it is all done through love, and the purest love is clarity. It's geometrical love. That is what love is. The Immaculate Mother's love is symmetry. It's the beginning, the invitation to symmetry. It's beginning with perfect geometry that invites field symmetry. We are to invite field symmetry. We are not here to absorb and contend with chaos. We are here to offer the codes of perfection so that the field may come into symmetry, and it will, and it does, because the fire codes are the other side of the water, the ice water codes, right? That is the only field stabilization that will ever be real, the one that begins with the mother's pattern. We'll find symmetry, and that creates beautiful foundational integrity and core strength that we can build with. But it comes from inside. Hey, Lauren. Okay, is there anything else? The living code of the mother, the infinite energy of the father, and the child, which is all of us within that, because we will be a presence of the maternal and a presence of the paternal, but more important perhaps, or more exciting, we are the presence of the eternal child. And the eternal child is the presence of courage, fearlessness, joy and excitement, and curiosity, and love and connectivity with others, and the want to be with friends, and the want to be in love and happiness. And the eternal golden child says the words, I am the beloved one. I am the beloved one. Everything I ask for comes. My mother is living. My father is living. My mother is free. My father is free. My mother creates the order of the field. My father is in devotion to my mother. I am the beloved one. I am the beloved one. And then, from that space, we are the eternal child. Narcissism is gone. There will be no more narcissism when we understand and remember these beautiful principles are all to serve the eternal child, the beloved one, who is heard and served and devoted to. As the great I am, right? Being what is in here. Beautiful rainbow just shot up on my screen. That means I have reached the word I have to say and I'm finished. It's like, that's your tone, Mary. Okay. So much love to everybody. Please share this if you know this to be true or find this uplifting. And thank you for being with me. So much love. Blessings, everybody.